Hi guys, welcome back to the Stretching Samurai. My name is Patrick Ravel. Sorry if my voice is a little bit bad today. I've been having laryngitis for the last 2 weeks, and I'm a little bit of sick. But I'm here today because we're going to talk about a little subject. Somebody asked me a very specific question on my YouTube channel because they want to know a little bit more how to implement what I do with PRI and rehab into a normal routine during a cycle of training during the week or during the month. So a lot of people ask me, Pat, is doing PRI and all these surgical tubing exercise going to affect my gains on the long run? And it's very important, guys, that when you train, you put your body under great stress loads. There's high physiological loads, and it's all vertical loading on your spine. And eventually what happens is your body cracks. Some people tell me I've got lower back pain, you have shoulder pain, or you have knee pain. And they're wondering, is it safe to get out of a hypertrophy phase to get into a rehabilitation phase, doing different exercises with the ball, with the beams, or exercises that you see on my YouTube channel? Well, guys, when you prepare an athlete or any bodybuilder, anybody should know that you need kind of a deloading phase. We call it an anatomical adaptation phase. And this is Tudor Bompom. I've seen that from the book, Periodization for Strength Training and Serious Strength Training, which are his two favorite books that I like a lot by him. And he always talks about doing a phase of 3 to 5 weeks where we work on different components that normally we wouldn't work when we're doing power, strength, or just building hypertrophy during a normal macro cycle. So a lot of people ask me, how do I implement PRI and all that in order not to lose my gains? Now, it's very important that you understand how to create an anatomical adaptation. So I put all the little crib notes, like we call here, to create this kind of periodization scheme for an anatomical adaptation phase, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to do a lot of body weight exercise, a lot of surgical tubing exercise, lightweight implementation. So a lot of people that like to lift very heavy, it's a good time to deload basically the bars and just work on joint functions and getting them better. If you've got a shoulder pain or a knee pain, now's a really good time to work on those little decompensations that are screwing up your gains at the end of your macro cycle. And also you can use a Swiss ball. You can focus a lot more on horizontal loading. So if you don't know what horizontal loading compared to a vertical loading is, a machine or a dumbbell press overhead is a vertical load, as a bench press is more of a horizontal load. So you can basically take away a lot of those vertical presses out of the equation and give the time to that shoulder to recuperate for that time that you want to do the little programs that I put on my channel. In Paul Check, we talk about different stages in a program. We talk about going from basic to core, to stability, to strength, and then to power. Well, this is the phase where we're going to focus on stability, core, and basic exercise to try to bring back that shoulder healthier and stronger, so when you come back to your normal training, you're going to be able to excel without pain. And oftentimes, a lot of people don't know this, but Robert Donatelli said it best: if a muscle doesn't have 90% of its original length and it's not injured, you cannot get the proper gains. So it's very important that this phase should be done once every 12 to 15 weeks. That's what I give, about 17 weeks of training, where you go from hypertrophy 1, hypertrophy 2, a little bit of power, and then you go back to eventually to what we're doing right now, which is an anatomical adaptation phase. So PRI is physiotherapy. It is core work. It is working on prime movers. So here are basically the different things you're going to work with in AA phase. We're going to talk about core exercises, prime movers, body weight, and also any decompensation that you might feel. So if you're decompensating because your posture is bad, now's a good time to create this phase. So a lot of people ask me, okay, what are the parameters that I'm going to use to create this? Well, you're going to need about 6 to 9 exercises. What I like to do is put an lower body, followed by an upper body, and followed by a core. So basically, it's lower, upper, mid, lower, upper, mid, and you can do 3 blocks to create your perfect anatomical adaptation. What I like to do is I like to use, let's say, my shoulder injury and try to build around it with the lower body and the upper body and the core, which are all already included in my routine. If you look at my routines, there's a lot of stretching. You're stretching the fascia. We're bringing the muscle to the original length. And also we're rehabbing it so it's more efficient, okay? You're going to be focusing a lot on prime movers. So if there's a prime mover that is not doing well, now that's a very good time to work on that prime mover. If you know that you've got an imbalance between the abdominal inner core condition, the transverse muscle, and basically the lower back that's too tight. Now it's good time to stretch that lower back and to strengthen that transverse for the 3 to 5 weeks. And what does that do? It actually takes pressure off your system. You're actually recuperating. You're actually letting your body deload and actually recuperate. A lot of people train so hard to get those gains, and they think that by waiting 3 to 5 weeks, the gains are pretty much over. And it's really not the fact. Sometimes taking 3 weeks off, you shoot your gains so high. There's a curve, the dose response curve. A lot of people, they know this. They've done that in personal training. And what they teach you is that when you train, let's say you're on a curve where you're at 0, you're training into a negative curve. And then as you're recuperating, you go a little bit in the positive. And as you're in the positive, you retrain again that body part, you go down even lower and up and lower and up. And it's a nice linear pattern. And of course, there's a lot of things to say about linear patterns. Not a lot of people agree with that. But nevertheless, a lot of people don't know that just taking that 3 weeks off for letting that shoulder recuperate, letting that inner core, that transverse abdominis to strengthen the gluteus medius, to stretch that adductor magnus on the inner thigh, just bring back posture, balance, symmetry, is basically just what you need to skyrocket your gains after you're done your anatomical adaptation. So as an PRI, physiotherapy, and anatomical adaptations goes, I like to talk about different parameters. Here the parameters, we have 3 to 5 weeks. So I like to give normally an AA phase for 3 to 5 weeks. I like to keep it around 40 to 60% of your 1 rep max. That's one thing I love to do. I like to keep 6 to 9 exercise. I like the duration of the whole program to be between 30 and 40 minutes. And also, we're going to hit all these body parts, all these 9 selecting, all our weaknesses, all our imbalances, all the postural deficiencies. We're going to work them 3 to 4 times a week. So 3 to 5 weeks in length and 3 to 4 times a week. Now, what's going to happen is once you come back to your normal training routine, that shoulder is just going to be a lot more stabler. Everything is going to be stronger. Your core is going to be stronger. Your joints are going to be stronger. And as you go along, you're going to see your squat, your deadlift, your bench press skyrocket because you're not in pain anymore. And also, you're going to actually build a lot of symmetry, which is very important when you're a bodybuilder or you're doing physique or bikini or anything like that. So I never take for granted posture, stability, core, and everything that's on my channel. When you see routines for type 1, 2, and 3 shoulder blades, these routines have all the components I just talked about. It's body weight exercise. It's got some surgical tubings. We're doing strengthening for 30 to 40 seconds because we're doing 5 breaths. So if we're inhaling 3 seconds, exhaling 3 seconds, you have 30 seconds of strengthening right there. That's strength training. You can actually gain size doing these exercises. So I hope that when you go on my YouTube channel, you can see the use of all these beautiful routines. If you've got a shoulder pain, a hip pain, a lower back pain, every routine on my channel does have components that are included in the anatomical adaptation phase. And guys, I urge you to do this because a lot of people will go blindly like I did a long time ago. I was a powerlifter for 10 years and I was training hard, 2 or 3 competition of powerlifting a year. And my favorite friend was Motrin. I used to pop 2 or 3 Motrins for a year because I was in serious pain for the shoulder. Maybe I could have go without competing for 6 months and then come back even stronger. But now it's too late because I'm already retired, and at 41 years old, I'm not going back into that. Now, all I'm doing is instructing people, letting them know that it's okay weeks to fix that injury. And even if it's not 100% recover that injury, you can come back to your normal training and you'll even be better. It's better than not doing it at all. So guys, please understand that doing a little bit of stability core, a little bit of PRI, a little bit of posture, working on our decompensations is a vital key to get your optimal growth when it comes at the end of the year. So tell your friends to go on the Stretching Samurai, guys, and to look at the videos and to try a few of those. And if you've got a pain, let me know. lefitnessfix@hotmail.ca. I will answer you, which is knee, lower back, or shoulder pain, although I do love shoulders more. And I do like that you guys are subscribing right now. I really love that. Thank you so much. My channel's been getting a lot of success, and it's all because of you. Thank you so much, all the guys that are watching me out there. And also, I would like to make sure that you understand the importance today of what I'm talking about. And since I've got laryngitis, I'm sorry, my voice is still a bit bad today. I've got trouble speaking. So I'm going to end this little live stream, and I'll see you in 2 weeks, probably in a lot better health. And since then, maybe you'll have time to look at my routines if you've got a shoulder or back pain. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you next time. This is the Stretching Samurai signing off. And like I said, stay healthy, stay in shape, and stay pain-free. Ciao.